And hey there team. So this is a free-for-all that I did around about 2 weeks ago at this point. And it was actually a free-for-all that I thought was lost forever, but lucky for me, Captain Gervais saved it. And he sent it over to Mighty Eskimo. I came across the video on Mighty Eskimo's channel and asked Gervais for it because I really wanted to talk about this. There were lots of things I did that I really wanted to mention and make a video on. So yeah, big thanks to him, and I will be including Mighty Eskimo's link to his video in the description because, as always, I'll be focusing much more on my own play. So there's a lot of things that happen that I won't be touching on, and you might feel a little bit lost. So I'll start with him because he sent me the report. He's playing as the Dwarves of Erebor, which is definitely my favourite Dwarven faction. I don't play as Dwarves often, but when I do, I play as Erebor. He's got these Ironfoot Hammer Guard here on the left, just behind them, Ironfoot Spears, some Axe Throwers there, some Halberdiers on the left flank. Up in front, 2 units of crossbows. Then the Axe Guard of Erebor there, the Dragon Slayers of Ered Mithrin. His general is not in that unit. Ironfoot Warriors there, some Miners, some Axe Throwers there, and these are the Blacklocks. That is where he's got his general, as you can see. What he's got here is a nice mix of Pikes and Ironfoot Warriors with the armor upgrade. I think he's got the armor upgrade on just about everything he can get it on, which I think is a pretty good idea. Like when you're being the dwarves, you're already really heavily armored. Why not pay that extra 50 to just give yourself a lot more survivability? His ally here, Aguilar, is making up in numbers for what he is kind of lacking. Harad is always going to be a pretty heavy numbers faction, but I'll talk about it. Aguilar's, he's playing them in a pretty low numbers way. So he's got out front 2 Haradrim archers, then some Beastmasters on his right flank, some Black Serpent bodyguard there, some spears, just Haradrim spears here, and another one there. Demons of the desert, some Beast Hunters, both on the right and left there, and the Champions of Nafarat. Hidden right here, there's Shari Stalkers, and there's also a unit of Shari Shadows. Where it is though, I'm not certain. I'll point it out when we get going. What he's got mixed up in this line, he's got Dismounted Serpent Guard, which is definitely not a cheap unit, mixed in with the Southron Pikes. So that's actually quite a nice formation, quite a nice expensive formation. I don't want to say elite because I do definitely overuse the word elite, but in terms of what you usually see Harad bringing to the field, this is quite good. Run out of Southron Pikes, you're only able to get 2 of them before the red limit hits, so he's got some Beast Tamers here on the left to make up for that. Zooming over here to the right, yep, good. We have Linden, played by Explain. Now Explain's got a pretty small army, which is certainly not a bad move. It's nice to just be able to micromanage everything you've got. The Mithlon Nobles there, not containing the general. And actually, wait, they might actually be containing the general. He's not viewed as an extra person. Oh, I'd have to look through every one of these. I don't think so. I'm not seeing him. Yeah, no, so he's not in there. And there, Mithlon Swordmasters, that's where he's got him. So that's where he's putting his general. In front of those Mithlon Swordmasters, there's 3 Harlinden infantry. In front of them, a single unit of Harlinden Pikes and 2 Mithlon Pikes. And then in front there's 4 units of Harlinden Guard, which I need to have a look at this myself, but I think you reach the red limit once you get 2. So he's bumped up the red limit twice here, which is pretty interesting. This is not scored resolution because, scored resolution is a little bit busted, I'm afraid. So it's just a standard last man standing free-for-all. His ally here is Orcs Doomsday, who's playing Rohan. He's got some heavy cav up here, the Aerored of Aldberg, and then another one over there. A Riddermark skirmishers, who are the javelin throwing Rohirrim cav. Next to them are the Riders of the Fold, they're the archer cav. Got the red shield of Erkenbrand, they're just really quite exceptional archer cav from Rohan. And then his last cavalry unit is his first marshal's bodyguard, which doesn't actually have his first marshal in it. I quite like the first marshal's bodyguard. I don't see them as often as I'd like in the field. I think people usually, when they want an elite cavalry force from Rohan, they'll go for the Sons of Eol, which is fair enough. As for his infantry, he's pretty heavy for infantry. Definitely not a cavalry spam. A nice balance, I think. So Riddermark archers, 2 of them. Some Riddermark spears. I'm afraid I can't stand Riddermark spears. I really don't much care for the voice lines that they have. It wears me down after they've yelled out Rohan-like spears several times in the game. On the left, Westmark spears, Westmark marshals, some Westmark infantry at the back there. In the centre, Westmark infantry, some Riddermark axemen, and then Eastmark axemen over there. The Hornburg sentries is where he's decided to put his general, and then more Westmark marshals if I didn't get them before. I'm up in the north, I'll do me last. So over here to Imladris. It's a double Imladris team, which is always nice to see. We've got Mango Masher. He's got 2 units of Eldar Quenga and 1 unit of Neratino warriors. 2 of these spearmen here, the Eldar Endway Hero Hatal. Oh, nope. Hatai? Yeah, I'll get there in the end. Eldar Makar, backed up by the Imladris sentries here. So a lot of people are going for this pike sword line today. Back behind that are the Eldar Hero Misil? Yeah, Misil maybe. Heavy sword infantry. Imladris Guardians, 2 of them. I think that is the armor upgrade. If you're hearing, I forgot to mute my TeamSpeak sound, I'm sorry about that, guys. Some people are just spamming the chat. We've got these 2 Imladris Guardians here. I think they've got the armor upgrade, but something that has no requirement for an armor upgrade are the Gwathi Meridane. They are very heavily armoured with their big old hammers and a nice shield value as well, so they can take a proper beating. And no, that's not where he has his... Actually, yeah, that is where he's got his general. So, and then for cavalry, he's not got much, but he's got the only cavalry that he needs with the Gwathi Rock Door. Yes, over here. His ally, Roger that, makes up for his lack of cav, with quite a substantial force of his own. Imladris Riders here, and alongside them are some Elder Endway Hero Myro, so they're heavy cav there, and of course the Gwathi Rock Door. Eldar Quenga, 2 archers, and then the Neratino warriors, same archer composition as his ally, which is interesting. 2 units of Imladris Guardians, again I think with the armor upgrade. Imladris Sentries, these are 2 units here, starting to shuffle out. And the next beautifully armoured elven unit, but this time with spears instead of the hammers, are the Gwathi Arthand. And that's with, I believe, Elrond up there. Then these 2 units of the Eldar Hatar. This is why I stick to human factions, I'm afraid. Over here, I have my ally, playing as Cand, is Mastery X33. So he's got these, he's got a substantial cav, as would be expected from a Cand force. Brotherhood of the Bow, Brotherhood of the Lance, and the Chieftain's Vanguard. Chieftain's Vanguard is where he's got his general plugged in today. 3 units of Variag warriors behind them, Brotherhood of the Sword and Brotherhood of the Axe, and the Nurad War Chief's Retainers, so a nice infantry unit as well. Not too heavy on numbers though. And then the Nurad Halberds, so there's 1, 2, 3 of them. in front of all that, there are nomadic infantry, so they can give a good account of themselves in melee if they need to. Now, if this is my very traditional Cardinal army. You'll have seen it before, I think, in some of the other videos, but there are changes that have been made since this game was played. I'd say this was about 2 weeks ago now. So I've got my standard 3 crossbows up front, with the Roman Guardians there with their armor upgrade behind them. 2 units of spears. I've got a bit of a gap. I've recently been experimenting with a slightly larger gap than that, because these lightly armed, well, non-armoured Greenwatch garrison can get devoured by archer fire. I've got 2 of them and then 1 Wardens. I've got my Wardens deployed on my left flank, which would have probably been better to put them in the centre so that their inspiration bonus can separate out into both the garrisoned foot, and also it's a bit more punching power in the centre instead of the punching power on the left. Behind them, 2 units of swords, Minith Grithlin swords. Thank you very much, Graham. And Dunedain captains without the armour upgrade there. And then over on the side there, the Warhammers. In the back, the Hearthguard of Amonsul. My cav, pretty standard. Tharbad Riders, and the Royal Court of House Thorondor. So, as I've said, I've made some big changes with this, and in the next video that I'm hoping to record today, I'll make sure I upload them on the same day anyway. I'm going to be talking about the changes I've made and why I've made those changes. So we'll get to it now, because there's a lot of shuffling around, and I've got some more stuff to talk about, but this is actually it's the second proper time that I've attempted to film this. I filmed it in its entirety last night, and I was pretty chuffed with how it all went, and then I went to put it into my editing software to start to piece it all together, and I saw the audio bars were all really quite low, and throughout the entire video. I thought that's a strange thing to happen. But I had a quick look and I saw that my mic had been muted through the entire recording of both the videos. So I was really quite annoyed about that. But hey, so there's a few moments I'm definitely going to think I'm repeating myself, and I probably will actually repeat myself. But hey, I'll try to avoid that as best I can. So what I did there was, I like free-for-alls, but usually when I play free-for-alls, I play 4-man free-for-alls. So I'm not used to being in a free-for-all and working with a teammate. So I saw these elves. I want to go play with the elves, and I want to go like shoot them with my crossbows and see if I can get any cheeky charges when they're not ready. But we have the only artillery piece in the game. Something I forgot to mention. Actually, I looked right over it. Cand has brought a black powder Hwacha, sorry, and we, as I say, right now this is the only artillery piece on the field. So that puts us in a pretty interesting place, and it definitely doesn't put us in a place where we need to be charging around and attacking people. Not just yet, anyway. I think what Mastery wanted here was for us to sit back and watch what was happening, watch what people were doing. Rohan right now is sending out their cav, not toward us though. We were pretty sure that Rohan was going to leave us alone, at least for now. The Imladris have set up generally facing us, but they're also watching down toward everybody, down toward the dwarves. And originally, the dwarves started moving toward them, so we just wanted them to do that, see like if they were going to go for them, and then we could swoop in from the top, fire off the Hwacha into a nice disorganized melee. We were pretty excited, but this stops at some point soon. I think they see the Rohirrim, and they also see that, you know, we're closer to the elves, and they decide, no, let's let those two kill each other, and we'll go for Lyndon and Rohan. Don't think they realise, well, I don't think they choose that just yet. Have we caught sight of those cavalry yet? I don't think we have. And there's the stalkers jumping up out of being hidden. But looking over at myself, so we shuffle around, yeah. at that point we've decided we're definitely not going to make that trek all the way down toward Rohan, and we didn't want to get pestered by Rohan's cav all the way there, so we thought, yep, what we're going to do is shuffle around and go and face Imladris. We're all really close to the red line here, a lot closer than I sort of would like to be, but as I say, Mastery had some plans that he wanted to follow, and I was more than happy to sort of abide by that. This army is pretty balanced, so I can take on multiple plans, multiple roles. So I was okay being on the defensive today. Have they turned off now? Doesn't look like it. No, they're still thinking about it. Yeah, 29,000 frames is pretty long. It was, and we all deployed quite quick. It was only really about 1,000 frames or so off deploying. So there's a lot of staring down going on. Have they done that already? No, not yet. Yeah, I try my best to keep the formation. What we are noticing right now, they've each got 3 units of archers, and so that's 6 overall, of course. And together, discounting my Hearthguard, we have 5 infantry archers anyway. So we felt that, and their archers are going to be a lot better than ours. So we knew fighting them face to face in an extended skirmish fight was not going to really go our way. We needed to do something, but at the same time we had the Plaja, so that was hopefully going to turn some things toward our side. Just not wanting to miss what they're doing. They're still cautious, which is good for them. I was really impressed with how well Roger that and Mango were sort of working together. You know, they're both pretty experienced at working into each other's formations and such. There's a few little hiccups, of course, as you're always going to get, but it was good. What we got going on over here? Yeah, so the Rohirrim, they sort of stare down these dwarves for a bit, but nothing really comes off it. I think that he's getting pretty aggressive with his archers. That's good. Lots of pikes just dotted around, not really what you want to. Oh, was that a graphical glitch? There was something there for a second. It must have just been a quick little graphical glitch, it seems. Yeah. So with him having a pretty decent cav force, having these archers, having a bunch of spears, they weren't really in a great position to just charge away right now, which is fair enough. So they're being cautious, as you kind of should be in a free-for-all. Right, so good. These Imladris riders come on round. Now this is the first problem with my triple crossbow strategy. I don't have anything to really outrange the Imladris riders. Whereas if I had a foot archer unit, say instead of 1 unit of sharpshooters, had I changed out for a unit of Miniscarithlin archers. So certainly not poor quality archers by any means. But if I had done that, then I would have something here to shoot at them. I wouldn't have to, I could have gotten a shot off, whereas I don't actually. In addition to that, I've only got these 2 units of cav. So I can't really go running around chasing one of them away and they're both quite high quality cav, they're expensive and I need them. So if I lost either of these cav units, then that would be pretty bad for my strategy. So no, that's one thing that does definitely affect my decision to change up my army a little bit. These Rohirrim just kind of, they zoom on around a lot, kind of just keeping them on their toes. Something I'm really bad at is as soon as I see cavalry sort of moving around to flank me, I get either too cautious or nowhere near cautious enough. So I'm either not moving or I'm just not caring about them. But this unit of Hammer Guard can answer just about anything they do. Apart from the Red Shields Verkenbrand actually, which if the Red Shields of Erkenbrand are able to get an extended shot on the back of those halberdiers, that could be dicey. So how does Gervais? Because he's only got crossbows here, and yet he's. I guess crossbows can sort of outrange horse archers, but I need to actually look at that. Yeah, so it's enough to keep him back anyway, it seems. And he definitely doesn't want to just fire off willy-nilly those Red Shields of Erkenbrand into a bunch of Ironford crossbows anyway, so. I'll bump up the speed a little bit because it really is a lot of just hanging around. We have moved up our Hawacha, so I'll slow back down again. Oh, quite a little good, okay. Yeah, so I do love the noise of the Hawacha, so I'm probably going to not talk from it. A little bit better to hear it at normal speed. Yeah, no, I love that noise. I will get a full volley where I'll just sit and not talk. Now, so he's targeting the Neratino warriors, which is sort of not a bad choice, but like it's not got the best range. And even though he's targeting the Neratino warriors, it's actually I think he is actually targeting the Guardians, maybe. Because there's more death here than there is there. So yeah, that could be it. I would have maybe, because I would have looked after it. If he wanted to send the Hawacha over to my side, I think he would have gotten a better shot. And you know, so that's something. There was major communication problems between Master and I. I'll get to that later on in the video, but yeah, there were some big problems that we had speaking to one another. But I should have just said to him, hey, look, you're going to get a better shot if you come around to my side. I will dedicate a unit of my spearmen to make sure your Hawacha crew are going to be okay. They move up these archers at this point, and they move them pretty boldly through the field, but backed up by Gwathi Rockdoor, my cav can't even begin to compete with the Gwathi Rockdoor. So I let them advance, and they've got quite a bit of control over the field. What am I doing with these guys right now, actually? I think I'm shuffling. I think I'm taking my men and shuffling right to the side there. We'll have a quick glance what's going on here. And you can see that the Harad forces and the dwarves, they've got a lot more, like they've spread their force out pretty nicely is the thing. So even though there is a decent amount of infantry here, some really good infantry, they can't fight over as wide an area as, you know, what this team is giving them. You know, they've got, he sort of curled them, like Rohan alone can guard a side. I don't know, like all they're really meant to do is hold them in place for long enough that the Rohirrim Cav can do something. So I will try to glance over at this whenever I can, but I need to catch sight of all my mistakes. So we get, did they pull off that charge? No, they didn't. So they had a quick go at charging my men, but they decided to pull away. Who am I targeting? No. Yeah. So something that I'm never a huge fan of is firing off crossbows into enemy archers. But in this case there was really no other choice. I had to give them something to shoot at, and to make them shoot at me I had to shoot at them. So I took one of my archer units, heavily armoured, with a shield, and just offered them up. And that left my other two units fresh and full of ammunition. Now I did this a lot. Roger was pretty bold with his cav. He would send them out to have a quick go, to sort of, you know, tease my forces a bit, and then pull them back. And I was always just a bit too quick to react. Whereas what I really should have done was let him get closer, let him get into crossbow range, so that I could have, every time he did it, and he turned away, I could bite him with my crossbows. So, yeah, unfortunately, Master sends his, I'm going to go back to 1 speed actually. Master sends this Hwacha crew forward. They were out of ammunition. I think he just wanted to kill a few Naruto warriors and hopefully make him waste a volley of his Naruto warriors on these Hwacha crew. I would have probably saved them myself, just because I like to have manpower in the later game, even if it is not very good manpower. Like artillery crews, it's still something. So they were just devoured by the Grassy Rockdoor and these guys too. So, and that is our Hwacha gone. I would have liked to have known how much damage it did. Like that unit is down to 50. There's a few other people that have been chopped about a bit, so it's not bad. Did it pay for itself? I don't know. I don't think so. It's a bad way to view this game. I feel if a unit has paid for itself, it was worth it. If it didn't, it's not. There's a lot more to it than just how many kills the unit gets. Especially when it comes to artillery, you know, if we had saved that, then we keep the control. Whereas now they know that we're out of ammunition, so they have superior archers at this point. So technically, the control is with them, I feel. Whereas even if we had one more volley left in that Hwacha, you know, they don't know how much ammo we've got left. Hey, this isn't Warhammer Warhammer Total War. So, as you can see, this is what I mean by sort of attacking in this really wide arc. You know, they just can't. If they try to fight this thing piece by piece, they're gonna lose every little fight. It's just not. It's not something they can do. And it goes south pretty quick. As I say, I need to explain what. I don't know, I'll maybe chat to him at some point. I'm just interested to know why he took 4 units of the Harlequin Guard there.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Right, so that's one of them. That's probably Rohan, I think. Rohan comes in for a nice backstab to these archers, certainly not a bad thing. The Hammer Guard, you've got to be worried about them. But First Marshal's Bodyguard there coming in, would have maybe been better to say, you know, grab them, come into the... Ooh, there's spears. I don't know. As I say, I'm not... This isn't about me critiquing other people's play. People have their reasons for why they made certain decisions. So, so they are outranging me. Yeah. So
the enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
So that's the other. That's probably Lyndon now. So I shuffled my entire formation back, and he's come a little bit closer.
Our noble allies have lost their leader. Without their general, they may lose heart and flee.
So that was Harad that fell there. So what's going on over here? Imladris Riders. Yeah, just a lot. It was fun. Like, there's a lot of calves shuffling around. A lot of cav getting shot down. Oh no, a lot of can boys dying around here. But I've seen a few elven horses. I think. Please. But no. As I say, Imladris cav frightens me. It really does. I don't much care for it, but we decided, okay, we're gonna. Actually, no. Was this when it happened? Right. No, not yet. Not yet. So we shuffle back forward a bit because we need to. We can't just sit and get archered to oblivion. I've used up a bit of the enemy ammunition at this point, but I couldn't wait forever. So we advance so that. Can start firing off with his nomadic archers or nomadic infantry, get a few kills maybe, and we're tightening the battlefield. I suppose it's no longer just us pressed up against this side. We've gone forward. We've given ourselves a little bit of space, and there's really not too much space for either of us here. What was this? Oh dang! Yeah, I think I remember. It was a good charge. But just cav wrapped around it, and then more cav got thrown in there. So no, it was let's say some good. It was generally just some good teamwork between Roger and Mango, just whenever we tried to make an attack, it's like we would get hit by somebody and then suddenly everybody else is in there. Ooh, with all the cav over on that left side though, I felt a bit more free to use mine. So I got my Tharbad Riders. Come on in, they're 68, but I see the Grassy Rock door and it's not worth it. I need my cav. So I pull them all back. Take a few shots to the back, but it's better than receiving a charge from the Grassy. Now this is something I didn't expect, and I should have. As soon as I started charging back, he charged in. And I was nowhere near fast enough to pull these men back.
The enemy general lies dead. We have sent the car to hell.
So he gets a good charge, and they're down to 40 now, 38. So it's get my Tharbad Riders in there just to try and hold these men in place, get something back from it. Rush my spearmen in, firing my crossbows at anything I can. And throughout, oh yeah, so he tries to get them out, I think, but then they get stuck back in. I get my spears stuck in with that, and at the end of all of it, I've done some damage to these units, but I've lost half of my Tharbad Riders. I've lost a big chunk of my crossbows, a handful of spears, so it's just not too good. He comes in here though, with his Grassy Rock door, trying to come in to hit my spears. I catch him with my Royal Court, bring my spears on back. So he's managed to pull off a good maneuver there. Am I backed up? No. I bring my Tharbad Riders back in, and I managed to rout these Grassy Rock door. There's only 11 of them that get out. Now they do come back, unfortunately, but I was glad that I took out half of them in that quick attack there. Tharbad Riders still standing, with enemy cav charging, well, like retreating. I felt there was a good chance for me to charge, but I guess I just gave the order to charge and I didn't realize how close these guys were. So had I not done this, did they start routing? I think they do. Yeah, they break, and since we're so close to the edge, they will leave. Had I not done that, I think this battle could have gone a pretty different way, because that was a full unit of like 20 Tharbad Riders. So I'm going to slow down because things get pretty hectic from this point on. Now, this was where we had, as I say, a major communication breakdown. Mastery charged in, and I wasn't, well, firstly, I wasn't really aware that he was charging in, and two, I was not ready for it. I had just dealt with a lot of cav charging me. I was needing to reform. I was needing to prepare myself to actually go for it. And so when I realized he's already stuck in, I was quite surprised. Even had I gotten a quick message off in the chat of like, hey, I'm attacking now, I would have been I think I would have been a bit better off with that. So he sends, Roger that, sends forward a few scraps of his army for me to feast upon.
It is time to press the attack.
What I should have done here, of course, is taken a section of my army and sent off to support Cand, because Cand is facing down most of the army, the vast majority of the army, really, whereas I'm only facing off against 4 units there. But no, I try to pull my sharpshooters back. They've still got lots of ammunition, these guys, so I need to make sure they use it all. Yeah, they're still firing into us, but getting a bit of friendly fire, I'm sure. Yeah, so I need to get my pikes stuck in there. Move back up. But where are my cav at this point? What am I doing with my Royal Court? Oh, Madras Rider's getting routed, that's good to see. I've got my Royal Court with my General. Sort of trying to just hit the Muratina warriors, but everywhere my Royal Court go right now, they're receiving archer fire. So that's a pain in the ass for me. But in a weird way, I think we do actually have cav superiority at this point. So what I should have done with my cav is turn them around here and turn them loose on this line here. Ah, they do still have the Grassy Rock door. Damn. Yeah, with a good charge on the back there, that's not good. Elite's getting committed there. So we were killing these guys pretty quick without taking too many losses. And but the whole thing with them was all they were there to do was slow me down.
The enemy general lies dead.
That was
Let the
me.
Crows have his miserable only half the enemy force remains.
So I think I tried to charge into the back of these Unladder's Guardians, but I guess I was slightly too close to an Unladder Sentry, or maybe my general was just really low on health and I got hit hard by a Guardian. So how does this keep going? Yeah, so I'm killing, still not losing too many. I've got these men in reserve. You see, like, these swordsmen would have been worth a lot more over there, and I think I am rushing them on in now. And it was only now that I sort of really clicked with how little was actually facing me. And this is where I'm terribly embarrassed to say it, but I lost my composure, and I got into a little bit of an argument with Mastery. Yeah, so that's why my macro approach to this battle kicked off, because I was probably putting in just as much effort. I was probably putting just as much effort into countering Mastery's insults as I was to into fighting. So should have focused on the battle at hand. Big regret from me. Oh, those Starbad Riders did come back. Oh wow, okay, good. I didn't know this. So it's still with the Royal Court. They're just trying to hit the Maritino warriors, but they would be worth a lot more hitting the backs of these guys, I feel. Even, you know, like the men of Cardlin, apart from my pikes there, are very heavily armored. So I could have just brought them in. So I bring them in at the flank there, but I really should have. There was nothing stopping me from coming all the way around, and that's what I should have done. We've broken on this left flank now, so I matched them with my Dunedain captains, but they've still got some Grassy Rock door there, and these men are quite skilled as well, so it's not going to be ending too well at that point. I bring in some pikes, well, one to provide some resistance against those Grassy Rock door, also to just try and win that fight there. Grassy Rock door are getting lower in numbers, and I think I focused this archer volley on them. I should do, if I don't. Yeah, good, I did. And I think that is near enough the end to them. Looks pretty bad for the Shadow Blades, but they're able to turn that around. Yeah, so you can see they've still just got some people in some pretty decent numbers. Now, glancing over at this situation here, they've finished up with Rohan. What I would have considered if I was Rohan, after it was clear your infantry were gone, I would have maybe, you know, I think you would have been perfectly within your right to just say, okay, I've got my Red Mark Skirmishers, I've got my Red Shield of Erkenbrand, I'm just going to wait. You know, like, you've lost a lot of your army, and I don't think anybody would blame you at that point for just saying, no, I'm not going to lose what little people I have left. It's if you're sitting there with a full army while everybody's got like nothing left, and that's a bit slimy, but being in that situation, I think is okay to decide, yeah, I'm gonna hold off. These shadows have used up all their ammo, I think, probably. There's nothing more. These Chieftain Vanguard are still doing pretty well, running around. They're out of ammunition, of course, but I don't actually know their stats on the charge or on melee. The Hearthguard there, with the Hearthguard I want them to throw their lot into this centre bit, but
only half the enemy force remains.
I think I target that unit and they decide, oh yeah, let's go here. But probably should have taken them back and come around the flank, even though that would have probably cut off the nomadic infantry's shot Eld armor car getting caught up by some nomadic infantry, trying to run away from them actually.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
But a good close range shot from these 15 guys starts to chase them off. So it's a bit too late for us now, but what we should have done is spoken to Mango and Roger that and just made it clear, look, we need to work together. Like, you can see how this balance bar, this red is just this alliance, and the blue is everybody else's forces on the field. So it's just under half right now. So we really should have just backed off. I should have even suggested it, and then if they disagreed, I should have still done it anyway. And even if I got away something, it was better than just killing off as many elves as we could. Because we do manage to take out quite a few more. I've still got lots of ammunition with my guardians there, but I'll still be judging this from the point of what I'm wanting to kill as many elves as I can. Oh, those wardens should have turned around. I should have gotten them to turn around. They're not doing anything there. You know, this is a good line of swordsmen. Oh, they're running actually, but they'll hold for now. So turning them around and attacking them, they would have won, because there's still 64 versus those 29. Oh, another charge being cleared. Yeah, this is good. The Chieftain's Vanguard are certainly good enough to deal with archers, which is what he's using them for now. But I'll go into a bit faster speed at this point, because we are getting surrounded at this point. We've now been surrounded on both flanks, and yeah, I'm just trying to do what I can. He's got some guardians that managed to reach on back to get into my guardians, but I'm quite surprised that they're actually doing okay. Maybe I had my men on guard mode. Okay, no, good. Yeah, so it's turned around now. I was pretty sure that the Minotaur Roman Guardians should be able to beat them in melee, especially when at this point they'd gained some experience, and they were I give them the melee and armor upgrade too, so they're tidying that up, but they can't beat them fast enough. These Guardians, if I've not stayed already, I think I probably am about 3 or 4 times, but they have run out of ammunition.
For the moment the fortune of battle goes our way, let's pray it remains as such.
What do I do with them? I think I'm just using them as a guard for what's left of my archers. Oh, no, they have ammo. Cheaters, I'm good at contradicting myself immediately. I just go into the Gwathi Arthand. It's... Oh, I would have loved it, that little moment when they turned their backs to me. If I got a good volley from the Guardians into them, that could have done some serious damage. Still just holding as best we can. Oh, good, the nomadic infantry are the last ones there. But I don't think I've got anything more fighting in that area. Good. So I decide, not yet, no, I decide it's soon. But this unit here, I think I get them out. I get out, perhaps not them, but I get out one of my units. Jump up to 6 speed. I'm going to try and do this without any cuts, just so that it's a lot easier to upload. I don't have to, if I do it in one solid chunk, I don't actually have to put it into my editing software, so that's quite helpful for me. The Guardians really are pretty good in melee. They're a lot of fun to use.
Our men are winning the battle.
Dang, did I miss it?
Like this,
yeah, good. So I get these guys away, and I just want to kill this hammer guard. He gets through them. They're in guard mode, but one more crossbow bolt takes them out. So that was the last hammer guard. With these guys, what I knew that at this point it was clear who was going to win, but I just wanted to do as much damage to these guys, to the elves and Harad as I could.
The enemy general lies
make
dead.
Make it as close a fight as I could.
After them, cut the cowards
but
down.
Unfortunately, the long reload cycle of the crossbows is too much, and they are reached before they can do anything. Yeah, so, and that was the last unit I had on the field. So we'll sit back for a minute as they cross over. I think, yeah, they also done fighting us. Everything we've got is routed, so they are pretty outnumbered at this point, and out of ammunition for everything, and a lot of things are pretty badly hurt. So I don't think there's any shame in them just falling back to form a position. Now this is something a little bit odd. Sending these men out to face the advancing army by themselves. Nope, good. They come back, and do they? They come back too. Okay, good. Nope, maybe not. Yeah, because they really sort of need everything possible back in that last little section. Now, hugging the map edge at this point, it's good because the dwarves have to go through you. They can't flank around you. But the other advantage with it, and the only real chance that the elves have of winning at this point, is by causing a mass rout in the enemy forces. If they were able to rout some units, then they just have to run a few meters, and they're off the field. So Harad fires off some archer volleys into them, but luckily they don't do that for very long. You know, like, yes, you could have had an easy victory had you just lined up your crossbows and your archers
and
hammered into them. So it was good that they didn't do that. It was good that they did give them a last battle.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
But what was definitely smart is once they are close like that, you know, take the initiative. You know, you should charge yourself. So they rush out to meet them. Larger sentries. If they had been a bigger unit, this could have been something they could have held back. But
the enemy general lies dead. We have sent the car to hell.
The heavily armored spears there doing some damage, but that's even they're having a lot of difficulty here against the overwhelming numbers at this point of dwarves. And with the Haradrim Cav getting in behind them, it's pretty much over. Do those Haradrim Shadows actually? No, they don't. I thought they were about to pull out their bows at that. Southron Pikes finally making it to fight. Some crossbows marching on up. Some more crossbows there. He lost his Harad just lost his Demons of the Desert, which is interesting. Yeah, so just with overwhelming numbers and the skill of these dwarven units, it's not too difficult. So that's him just had his halfway mark right there. I think Harad is definitely below that already, by the looks of things. He did actually lose more men fighting over here than I thought.
We have captured the enemy general. That will teach the cowardly dog to turn tail and run.
Just about 200 frames left, so it's just them tidying things up here.
Look how our cowardly foe runs. It is time to press the attack.
And that was the end of it. So, there's me down there. We all deployed quite similar amounts actually, for the most part, apart from Harad there. And Roger that actually had quite a small army. I guess so did Mango Masher, to be honest. The top scorers, big time. These two. Mango Masher got a lot of kills, but that was you know, myself and Mastery. Whereas I don't know actually. Yeah, no, that's fair. But I'm okay with the amount of kills I got. You know, they were all elves. I would have liked to have gone a bit more. You know, even if I had reached say 1,000 kills, I would have been like, okay, yeah, I dealt a good chunk of their forces down. I can't see my kills. As far as I know, my crossbows racked up a lot of kills, and my pikes actually did quite well. As did my Royal Court of House Throndor. But No, the general swordsmen and spears, they do their job. They take hits and bog enemies down, while everybody else gets the kills around them. I will have a look at Captain Gervais's kills. Why not? Blacklock Engineers, as expected, 229 kills, and they were kept out of the fight, so none of them went down. They could have killed a lot more in melee. They're actually pretty damn good. Dragon Slayers, they were fighting. They were thrown in to fight the elites at the very end there. That's why they didn't rack up quite as many kills as they maybe could for their losses. Pikes, actually, surprising. I guess the pikes were maybe focused down by archer fire, as were the halberdiers. Warriors racking up a few kills there. What were his? Interesting. His axe throwers did pretty well, and those hammer guard definitely would have swatted away a lot of Rohirrim Cav. So no, very well played by Aguilar and Gervais. I did apologise profusely to Mastery during the fight for losing my composure, and it is something I will ensure doesn't happen again. I think we could have done a hell of a lot better had we focused on communication and trying to back each other up as a team. But all in all, not too upset about that. And with my new army, which I will talk about in the next fight, I think I would have been able to answer a lot of things that did some serious damage to me. So thank you very much.